So we talked about curiosity, gain, and loss. And I told you that I wanted to tell you guys a little bit about how I like to write my emails, okay? What I like to do is I use one rule. And the rule is, can the person reading the subject line determine whether or not they want to open the email by just reading the subject line? In other words, if they read my subject line, can they know that the email can pertain to them or not? And if they can know that it can pertain to them or not, I usually will change it around so that they can't make the decision to open the email or not purely on the subject line. Now, there's a line that you have to sort of walk there, right? Because that gets into the whole curiosity thing. So what I like to do is I actually, let's say you have this really nice apple pie recipe. What I like to do is sort of mix curiosity and gain together just enough so that it sparks their interest, but they can't make a decision to open it or not, okay? So I don't know if that makes sense, but the idea is that I want them to open it, but when they open it, I don't want them to be so surprised that if it didn't spark their interest enough, they're going to be annoyed, right? Or they're going to be disappointed. So an example of that is something like this. So you're usually going to have recipes that you're sending to people. So what you're probably going to do is something like an apple pie to die for. And then maybe I may do some lines and say, something like how, well, actually this particular example is getting a little bit too long. But the idea behind this is it states that it's about an apple pie, right? And it also sparks a little curiosity. An apple pie to die for. So I want to know what that recipe is, but I know it's about an apple pie, which I'm not going to be surprised once I get inside and read the email. So this is like a really good example of sort of like walking the line a little bit. You're kind of playing both. Now, there could be people who don't like apple pie. You're never going to get those people anyway, so don't worry about it. Even if you trick them to open the email and they saw that it was apple pie, the people who don't like apple pie are not going to click through anyway. So don't worry so much about that. But this is sort of walking the line. Now let me see if I can think of another one. Let me see. How about this? My Sunday, or actually, my fave Sunday dessert. My favorite Sunday dessert. Now, it's a dessert. I'm telling you it's my favorite, so I'm sparking some curiosity, but I'm also letting you know, maybe I'd say dessert, recipe. So my favorite Sunday dessert recipe. Now, it kind of makes you curious, but you kind of know it's a dessert recipe. So when you open it, you're not going to be that disappointed when you get in there, even though I sort of used, both sides and I kind of walked that line. So that's sort of how I like to do it. I like to spark some curiosity, tell them a little bit about what's in there so that they can kind of get interested but not be let down once they open the email. It's all about this sort of, I talk about the psychology or the expectation of the click. That's a big deal. The expectation of the person who opens the email. What are they expecting to see? If it's not in line with your subject line, it's a good chance it's not going to be relevant, you're going to annoy people, and they're going to leave. Now, guys, let me know if you have any questions about this. These are probably brand new concepts to you, and they're going to take a little bit of time to perfect. The next video, we're going to talk really quickly about click-through rates.